Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Buckshot Thursday here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, Aaron, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about gun control in Ohio, and specifically rules I learned about the last hour or so about the state of Ohio that I did not know previous. And it seems like something that really the general public should be made informed of because, the fact that you have all kinds of fuckery going on. It seems like in the state house there, but obviously it's not really fuckery because it's like rules where you have to hear stuff is what it is there. Like you would think, I don't know, tell the people that stuff, but apparently I'm not telling them that though. So yeah, my apologies to Bob Peterson. I know I've called him out. I know I've dragged his ass quite a bit in these different episodes of Grandstands, Buckshot Thursdays, Freedom Fries, etc. For even giving Democrats gun control hearings and stuff like that. It turns out he had to. By law, legally, he had to, because I'm going to actually have you guys listen to a recording that I got off my phone earlier because I got a message from Peterson's office. It was a girl named Riley today. She's apparently his legislative aide. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play this to see. Hopefully it'll come through pretty good here. So let's go ahead and.
Office. I was just returning your call from yesterday. I apologize if I didn't get a chance to call you back before the end of the day. But I just wanted to touch base with you about 433, I believe was the bill that you were questioning about in government oversight. So by law in Ohio, you do have to have a first hearing on a bill if it is submitted before a March 15th deadline, which was the case with House Bill 433, which is why we had sponsor testimony on that bill. From that point, we will determine if the committee is supportive of the bill or not. And so far, we have not heard outstanding comments on that, so we do not believe at this time that that bill will be having another hearing. If you have any more questions for me or would like to pass any concerns along to Representative Peterson, feel free to give us a call back. Our office number is...
Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it, though. So anyway, so I called her back then, about 5 minutes after she left that message, and talked to Peterson's other person, which I thought was Riley originally, but apparently it was not. And she basically transferred me to Riley because Riley is his direct legislative aide. I believe is what it is. The way I think it's the way it works here, whatever the case be. When you actually look at the committee hearings and stuff like that, when I'm doing the Ohio Channel watches and stuff like that, and you see the people that walk up to Peterson or walk up to whoever on the committee is there and hand them stuff, that would be their legislative aid people. So whoever the chick is that's handing Peterson stuff in these committees is what it is there. I believe that's that Riley girl is what it is. And so I called her back. We were talking for about 3 to 5 minutes, give or take, about some stuff. And I was like, yeah, as someone who is a 2A advocate, I'm just getting sick and tired of having to fight, having to deal with this crap because it's I've been fighting against this shit for over 5 years now is what it is. And the fact of the matter is, and she kind of agreed with me on that one. She sounded like she was disgusted about the whole thing, honestly, dude, that's even having to get hearings and stuff. But yeah, apparently from what she was telling me was, I guess every General Assembly, the 2-year General Assemblies from this one's obviously 2023, 2024 General Assembly right now, every single time that they meet, I guess it's at the beginning of the year when they have I think it's when they're trying to figure stuff out in the first couple of days and they pick the speaker and stuff like that and everybody else and the different committees and whatnot. I think it's around then is when they all come together and they do a vote or something like that to figure out okay, this year it's going to be this date that we have to hear stuff by or whatever the case be. So if you want things to be heard for a first hearing, whatever the case be, or multiple hearings for that matter, you have to have them submitted by this date is what it is. And the thing with HB 433 was it was submitted back in February of this year. That's why it was able to get that first hearing is what it is though. And as I was talking to her, because I was like, yeah, as someone who's, been pretty pissed about this stuff, because, it's yeah, I know there's been, the first hearings on, safe storage laws and red flag laws and stuff like that. And I don't think I actually said that specifically. I know I said safe storage on stuff like that and whatnot. All those anti-gun, I think I said all anti-gun bills and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, we had to have those first hearings. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I was like, so my question really is to you then. I'm like, are there ever going to be any more hearings on this gun control stuff? And she's like, as far as we're aware for this General Assembly, no, there's not going to be. So that's good. So that's a win for us right now here in Ohio is what it is, dude. Is as far as I'm aware currently, there is no interest by Republicans to push anti-gun bullshit agendas, which makes sense because I've talked about this before, honestly. When you have people who, specifically, the way that I've learned over the last 5 to 6 years now, I've been paying attention to how politics is what it is right now. If a piece of legislation is 100% Democrat and has no Republican co-sponsors on it at all, or even primary sponsors or anything like that on it at all, it will never get a hearing at all, for that matter. The only time it'll ever get hearings, like especially more than one hearing, well, I guess technically on this case, it would have to get the first hearings is what it is, though. But like after that, though, if it has no Republican co-sponsors on it, it's never going to get a second hearing at all. It's never going to get a third hearing. It's never going to get out of the committee is what it is, though. So basically what's going to happen is, whether it be 433, whether it be, I'm trying to think what the other ones are, the safe storage stuff, the red flag law shit from this General Assembly, stuff like that, all the different bans and things like that, they're out of the fucking window at this point, dude. They've literally been tossed in a fucking trash can right now. They've been killed in committee as of right now, from my understanding. Now, granted, could that change in the next 7 months? Say if somebody were to do a fucking crazy ass massacre in this state right now, very possible, honestly, dude. The thing is, though, it seems to me like, especially with a lot of these like career politician Republicans and stuff like that, like your Bob Peterson types and stuff like that, they are very hard stance when it comes to things of like, yeah, we're not going to let, emotions and feelings dictate fucking legislation is what it is. We're going to actually have a calm, rational discussion about this kind of shit before we ever think about like passing this kind of shit. And most likely they're not going to, because the thing is, Peterson, I know for a fact when he was in the General Assembly for the state Senate 2 years ago was what it was, he actually helped pass constitutional carry. He was basically a party line vote at that point to pass constitutional carry. So he also, I believe, was part of the people that passed standard ground the previous year to that 2021. So for him to, sort of like flip-flop on the thing, or me thinking he was flip-flop on the thing, it turns out he was not the whole time. He was basically being forced into the position of, hey, this is going to be heard someplace for a first hearing. It has to be heard someplace for first hearing. It's going to be your, committee that's going to be heard, and kind of thing is what it is there. Like, it could have been House Oversight Committee. It could have been fucking Veterans Committee. It could have been anything, honestly. The HB 433 or these other anti-gun bills were pushed in, but usually it seems like House Oversight Committee for some reason, which I'm assuming it's basically a catch-all kind of thing there, be my assumption there. Which you would think, honestly, like, if something it has to do with the Second Amendment, whether it be, pro-gun or anti-gun, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You would think, truthfully, there'd be a special committee just for that, honestly. Like a constitutional rights committee or something, right? Or like a Second Amendment committee, something like that, Like, I know Veterans Affairs would be probably a closer thing to it, though, but like, because I know there's been in the state Senate stuff like that, there's been stuff here in those before is what it is there. So yeah, you would think, truthfully, like, I don't know. It just feels like there should be more to it than is what it is. But yeah, from my understanding, though, it's like you basically have all the anti-gun bills that are guaranteed to get a first hearing anyway. I don't know. And also, for that matter, I don't know that one that Josh Williams co-sponsored as a rhino sack of shit, because I do consider him a rhino sack of shit at this point, Williams is, because he's basically pushing that stupid creation of that stupid-ass fucking basically czar position that pays $100,000 a year then to be like gun control czar is what it is there, whatever. I don't know if that's ever going to get a second hearing or not. I hope it doesn't, honestly. But like, I'm going to go ahead and actually look back into our General Assembly right now. And I'm going to start looking at stuff, specifically House bills that were submitted. I'm actually going to type in firearms in this one, because usually that's what stuff pops up with. And we'll see exactly how many of these things have been, given a hearing or whatever there, if that be the case then. So, okay. So, for instance, I don't think this has ever been given a fucking whatchamacallit, though, but like, let me go look at this right now. So we're going to go to both pages here for the General Assembly currently. Because I took the firearms. Some of this stuff is not firearms related, is what it is, but we're going to go ahead and look through all of it right now, is what it is. So, for instance, this is not firearms related, even though it came up with firearms. Let's see, modify state agency data storage law, data storage notification issued by state agencies, Ohio Adult Use Act. Okay, I don't think that was a thing. Driver's license thing. This is one thing that does piss me off over here. Reproductive Care Act, Democrats are trying to push forward. It's basically abortion on demand from a piece of shit in Samani. That woman is a fucking demon, dude, 100%. And I would say the same thing with Abduli and any of these other motherfuckers, Muhammad, all of them like that, dude. Isaac John, like anybody that supports fucking human life being destroyed, dude, at this point needs to be fucking kicked out of the General Assembly entirely, is what it is. Okay, so moving up. Let's see, Ohio Blockchain Basics Act. That's not gun control, or really firearms related for the matter. Seems like a lot of this is not for some reason, but it's on the thing. Okay, here we go. So this is something Democrats pushed last year, almost a year ago now. Actually, it was 6/23 or 6/26/23. I think it was even before that. Now, yeah, it was 6/20/23. So this will probably be something that we'll get a first hearing at some point, though, but it will never get a second hearing, which is basically repeal Section 9.36 of the revised code to restore local authority to generate relegate firearms-related conduct. For those who don't know what that is, basically this is something they've been trying to pull since 2019. Democrats have here. And essentially what this would do is they might as well call it this, which is end state preemption in Ohio, because that's what it actually is. It's basically specifically 9.68 of the revised code is the discussion of state preemption is what it is there. And yeah, it's possession, transportation, carrying of firearms, components, their ammunition, knives include, but not limited to possession, transportation, carrying openly or concealed of a person's person or concealed ready at the hand of firearm, their components, their ammunition, or knives. So technically, what this relates to is individual right to keep and bear arms being a fundamental. Okay, this is actually about our Second Amendment is what it really is, honestly. So 9.68. I thought for some reason I thought 9.68 was actually. Okay, no, this is relating to it's both actually. It's our right to keep and bear arms in the state of Ohio, but it's also state preemption is what it is, where you cannot have gun control at a city level and stuff like that's what it is there. So yeah, so basically they're just trying to fuck with our rights is what it is there every single time, dude. So the last action this had was it was referred to the Government Oversight Committee almost a year ago now. So this will probably be something that most likely will get a hearing in the fall if it doesn't get a hearing like before they leave for summer break is my guess, honestly. So that'll be one that'll get its first hearing pretty soon if it hasn't got a hearing already. I don't think it has. I don't believe it has anyway. I could be wrong about that one though, because you would think in a year's time it would have almost got that if that'd be the case then. But either way, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, so that one would be one. Same thing there in the state senate is what it'll be. You had that one there, which it may or may not have already gotten a hearing now. It's never going to get a second one then. Let's see. Then we got this piece of shit right here, the Keeping Our Survivors Safe Act. This is Democrat gun control as well, for that matter, which is an act keeping survivors safe act to prohibit a person who is charged with or has been convicted of first-degree misdemeanor domestic violence from possessing a firearm or dangerous ordinance. And of course, this is Michelle Grimm's bitch ass that did this stuff. So yeah, it was on the 21st of February, and it was referred to that on the 2nd of last month. So I don't know if it has got. This is actually a criminal justice hearing, so it's not House Oversight Committee, but yeah. If this has not gotten a hearing in the criminal justice yet, it will get its first hearing, but it will never probably get a second one, though, I'm guessing. Especially considering it's pure Democrat gun control is what it is there. Which, okay, so here's my problem entirely. Like, this is really my issue entirely on this one, right? So, you're talking about keeping survivors safe there. Why the hell do we even have a misdemeanor charge for domestic violence to begin with, dude? Like, right? Like, because my assumption is if you're doing domestic violence, you're beating the fuck out of somebody at that point, bro. Like you got some bitch with like a swollen eye or something like that is what it is, and like fucking busted jaw and shit. Like, how is that not a felony immediately then? Or is it something where it's just like some chick lying about some dude and being like, "Oh, that guy hit me. He hit me. He hit me. Look, the bruise on my face now." Like, because that doesn't exist, right? Of course it fucking does, dude. That's the entire point. And that's exactly what Democrats do, by the way. To fuck people's rights over is what it is, dude. They'll slap the shit out of themselves is what it is to make bruises and stuff. To then lie to fuck over a man's rights or a woman's rights, whatever it is there, dude. So, anyway. It's pretty disgusting shit, by the way. Let's see. This one will actually probably get multiple hearings. Or no, actually, no. Well, will it? I don't know. Maybe. This was actually submitted last week, and this is actually something, by the way, this Republican related to firearm stuff here, and this is actually something that should get multiple hearings to go through the governor's desk eventually, which is basically amends section 2923.13 and 2923.14 of the revised code to prohibit persons who are unlawfully present in the United States, being illegal aliens, from possessing firearms, which title is Prohibit Firearm Possession from Persons Unlawfully Present in the United States. And yeah, this is 15. Who is Jack Daniels? Who did that guy take over for? I love this thing. I am not a career politician. This community supported me as I grew my business and raised my children. Okay, here it is. This was back in April. He was appointed to take over Bob Young's seat. Okay. Okay, yeah. Bob Young was the guy I believe they had to resign because he was beating his wife or whatever then. So, yeah. So literally Jack Daniels took over Bob Young. Bro, you can't make this shit up anymore. Oh my god, bro. Like really, dude? Like so you got a guy who had to be kicked out of the General Assembly for like domestic violence related shit, and he's replaced by a guy whose name is fucking alcohol. Like Jesus Christ. Oh man. I'll tell you what, bro. Ohio is lit as fuck right now. We really are. That's funny. That's funny as shit, though, man. So I'm guessing this is like one of the first things that Daniels did then. After being appointed, here's what it is then. Ironically enough, Josh Williams is also on this stuff for Pro 2A stuff as it is here, as is Scott Wiggum, who's been one of the biggest Pro 2A advocates in the state right now. He's also, I believe Wiggum was also I forget if it was Desert Storm or Desert Shield. I believe he was part of maybe both actually, back in the early 90s there, under Bush 1's administration. So, but yeah, Wiggum was the guy that body checked some dumbass fucking leftist that was trying to get in his way outside the state house is what it was. It's pretty great. So yeah, I'm hoping this gets multiple hearings, and if that be the case, it was referred to the House Oversight Committee in the last couple of days then. And I'd like to see it get obviously all the way to the governor's desk, because it's sad that we even have to make this a fucking law, dude. Because it's like, first of all, isn't there a federal level thing already where being in the U.S. and being in the U.S. illegally and having firearms is already like multiple felonies at that point? Because you're, first of all, you're an illegal alien in the United States, so you're a felon by default at that point then, because you're committing felonies by breaking into this country illegally. And then to be in possession of a firearm, it's like another felony then, you know, or at least it should be anyway, multiple levels there. So anyway, let's see. So there's that one. Then we had this one from the state senate, which is prohibit firearms possession with a domestic violence conviction. That's going to be the first hearing if it hasn't already. Bunch of Catholic converter-based stuff there. This is something I really hope that they do put forward pretty soon, because it was House Ways and Means Committee. It was also Senate Ways and Means Committee, because two things at the same time. You know, it's basically co-bills at that point that are mirror images of each other. Just done Bush hammers what it is there for the hell of it. Yeah, this has gotten a hearing. The first one before this. I don't know if it's going to get a second one or not, dude, just because of the way that fucking asshole Stevens is fucking with shit, though. But basically, if this were to pass, it would stop the sales tax on guns and ammo in the state. And it's something where, honestly, like I've talked about this before, truthfully, like, because there's another one here about like Democrats want to push forward. It's Sean Brennan. And it was something about like, you know, no sales tax on like gun safety locks and stuff like that. And it's like, you know what, dude, I'm fine with that too. Like, you know what, combine all of them as one fucking bill then, and be like, no tax on the 2A. Like, that's what it should be called, basically. You know, like, let's do it all, bro. Like, you know, it works for me, honestly, at this point, for real. So anyway, let's see what else we got now. Okay, let's see. There's a couple other ones here. Oh yeah, right there. That's what it was. So it was 189 was the no sale tax on guns and ammo. And it was 186 was the exempt sales of firearm safety devices from sales and use tax. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with 186 and 189 becoming like one thing at that point and just being combined together as like a single bill, where it's like no sales tax on anything related to, you know, Second Amendment stuff is what it is there. So anyway, let's see here now. Yeah, and then this one right here that's regarding lost and stolen firearms, which, by the way, should be pro 2A legislation. It's not, though. It's all Democrat crap, dude. It's basically increased penalty for failure to report a lost or stolen firearm. It's like, how the hell are you going to re-victimize somebody that's had their shit stolen, bitch? Like, it's fucked up, man. Like, that's the Democrats in a nutshell, dude. They want to make the victim into the fucking villain at that point, dude, is what it is. So, anyway. This is already federal shit, by the way. Democrats are trying to push forward because they're just retarded like that. They don't understand how laws already work, is what it is there. So, this one I thought was pretty interesting. Grant immunity for self-defense or defense of other defense in certain circumstances. It'd be generally grant civil immunity for certain injuries to a person who acts in self-defense or defense of another during the commission or immediate commission or the offense of violence to protect the members or guests of non-profit corporation under certain circumstances. This was related back to like the whole thing of the riots of 2020 and stuff like that. That was what it was. So, anyway. Then you got this Democrat fucker, which I'm not sure if he's got a hearing it or not. We'll get a first one, though, for sure, which is House Bill 309, which would basically prohibit FFLs from transferring a firearm until at least 10 days have elapsed since the dealer has contacted NICS. So basically a 10-day waiting period is what these fuckers are trying to introduce right now is what it is. Of course, this bitch-ass Cecil Thomas and Mom's Main Action fuckboy, and then Rachel Baker, who's one of their fucking membership, being the two leads on this piece of shit. And, of course, you got Abduli, Blacksphere, Brennan, Brent, Forhan, Tabby Golonsky, who's no longer in the General Assembly, Michelle Grimm, Danny Isaac John, Dotavius Jarrells, Mary Lightbody, who's no longer in the General Assembly, Liston, McNally, Miller, Miranda, who's no longer in the General Assembly, is trying to run for auditor right now, Ismail Muhammad, who's an Islamic terrorist, just like fucking Abduli is. And then we got Robinson, Samani, who is a fucking child sterilizer, and then Weinstein, who hits himself several years back now is what it is. Being all part of this crap. So, yeah, fuck those people, dude. Let's see what else we got now. And then, of course, this is the mass casualty weapons thing that was heard the other day, which never going to be heard again now, thank God. And like I was telling Riley there, I'm like, yeah, like even listening to that legislation the other day, I was like, obviously Representative Blackspear is contradicting himself and being completely disingenuous with this whole thing because he's basically lying about what this is going to do. And she agreed. She's like, yeah, it sounds like a bunch of BS he's putting forward and stuff. So it's like, yeah, like it's pretty bad when you got legislative aides saying stuff like that, dude, being like, yeah, this guy's definitely like basically telling you this guy's definitely a bullshit artist is what it is then. So it's just funny, man. But anyway, this Repeat Offender Act, I wouldn't mind seeing pass forward, though, which ironically enough, this is almost all Republican, except it's got Richard Dialogua on it as the only Democrat, which would basically, if you're already a felon and you have possession of a firearm or stuff like that, you're like basically get hit with like life sentence, more or less is what it sounds like there. So. He's going right now. I think this might be something where I gotta take this though. Swear to God, every fucking day these idiots are giving me a fucking call, dude. Talking about the tablet I was given by the government is what it is there. And they're like, gotta use your shit every once a week, dude. And I'm like, I have been, you idiots. Fucking stop calling me. Goddamn. I thought it was my medication people calling me to fucking do, because I was supposed to get my meds done yesterday is what it was. And these fucking idiots, like I hit the thing for them to contact me to a fucking person so I could do the shit. And all of a sudden it's like I'm sitting there waiting for the fucking person to connect to me. And it's like, nope, fuck you. And it just hangs up on my ass. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? So, yeah, just fucking retarded is what it is, man. So anyway, what else was I going to say here now? Okay, so yeah, so going back to the other gun control stuff that's in the General Assembly right now that may not get past the first hearing here. Hopefully it won't. So you got the mass casualty weapons thing. You got the enact the Building Safer Communities for Ohio's Children Act, HB 420, which is the one that Williams is on. It's a bunch of BS. And this is another thing I heard yesterday, actually. I was listening to Chris Doerr's testimony, which we may actually show here in a minute on, because he was doing his testimony at the thing the other day. You had that idiot, Darnell Williams. Or wait, is it Darnell Williams? Fuck's that guy's name? It's Darnell something. I don't think it's Williams. No, Darnell Brewer. That's what it is. Darnell Brewer's dumbass here, who was bitching and moaning about programs this and programs that. And it's like, bro, first off, and this is what Chris Dorr basically called him out. He's like, dude, we've already seen this stuff in Illinois where they're going to blank check and stuff like that. I think it's like California too, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple other states too that have done that crap too. And it's like, yeah, you give people a blank check. And it's just embezzlement is what it is, dude. It's just a way for Darnell and his fucking, I'm going to call it like it is. They're his black buddies to fucking embezzle a shitload of money is what it is, dude. Legitimately, that's what they fucking do, man. Instead of going out and getting real jobs, they go and get in fucking government and get a fucking government paycheck that doesn't have to be taxed. And then they turn around and give all their fucking buddies incentives and shit like that and be like, here, we're going to make this appropriation and give you, $1 million fucking dollars, do what the fuck you want with. And it's supposed to be used to make like, Big Brothers, Big Sisters kind of programs over out there. Is what it is, do for these kids, like outreach programs and stuff like that. And yet, meanwhile, first off, you never have them fucking audited for any reason at all, which they should. Obviously, everything it should be. Hey, you have to show the fucking first off, if you're gonna do anything in this shit, dude, it should be you have a bunch of different sets of people putting bids in there and being like, here's the deal, like we need this much money to make this program a reality right now. Here is every fucking dollar to the letter of the law, to every T being crossed, every I being dotted, etc. there. And you show them a list of every single dollar and how it would be used and stuff like that. And if you cannot prove that money is being used for that purpose and stuff like that, dude, guess what? Your ass goes to jail, bitch, for fucking embezzlement is what it is then. If that money was given to you at some point. And that's the entire problem right now is we're not doing that stuff. We're not having oversight like that, which is what we need to be having right now, dude. It's like, yeah, there should be fucking probes in these different companies like that and different organizations like that because, of course, they're embezzling, dude, is what it is. I mean, hell, look at fucking Tiffany Hendricks' ass there as Dalton mayor, dude. That bitch has embezzled like millions and millions of dollars there as the fucking mayor of a small Illinois town there. And yet she's pissed away money and was supposed to be used for programs and stuff like that in her own fucking pocketbook is what it is there, dude. And other people do the same shit. It's not like it has that every single time now. In places like Chicago, places like different parts of California and stuff like that everywhere, dude. So it's a bunch of bullshit entirely, dude. It's nothing more than a way to embezzle money is what it is. So, anyway. So you got 420 there. And then we got 170, which was the ERPO/red flag law. This is something that's going to be, I think it's, yeah, okay. So it was referred to today to the House Oversight Committee then. So... Or no, sorry, not today. It was a year ago today. It was referred to the House Oversight Committee. I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. No, it was referred to a year ago today. I think it's already gotten its first hearing, if I'm not mistaken. I believe, yeah, because Grimm was the lead sponsor of this shit. So yeah, they've already gotten the first hearing on this one. This is never going to get a second hearing ever again in the General Assembly, which is good for that one. Then we got 175, the Keep Every Home Safe Act. This is the Safe Storage Act that's been given a first hearing already by that idiot Jessica Miranda and Darnell Brewer. It'll never get another hearing after this then, thank Christ for that matter. Let's see, what's this one now? I'm not sure what this is. Enact the Second Amendment Financial Privacy Act. This was from 2 days ago. This was introduced in the state Senate. Let's see, enact sections 13, 49, 84, 85, 86 of the revised code relating to payment card transactions involving firearms and ammunition retailers, and to name the acts. Okay, so basically what it's saying is this is the opposite of what Colorado passed earlier this year is what it was, which is basically a way to do credit cards and be said like, oh yeah, this is being used for like some ammo thing, whatever the case be, or it's like different codes they put in there and shit like that. It's basically the reverse of that, where it's them saying, hey, we're not going to allow you to put like codes and stuff on our fucking financials if we're buying guns or whatever the case be, because go fuck yourself, you fucking infringing cunts. So hopefully this passes very easily is what it is there, dude. Okay, yeah, this is right there. So there was a... Wait. Okay, I'm retarded. So this is already 50% of the way past. It was sent over 2 days ago to the House Financial Institutions Committee. Okay, that makes more sense. So it's already gotten through the state Senate right now. It's just to go through the state House right now is what it is. Because according to looking at the when this was actually submitted initially, it was back on the 5th of September of last year. And then it's gotten all the way through everything, passed, introduced on the 4th of March of this year in the House chamber, and then referred to the committee on the 21st of this month. So yeah, it's already gotten the Senate favorable pass 3-1, and then it got a full Senate floor hearing on the 28th as well, where it passed 25-7 across party lines is what it is there. Because of course every single Democrat's a sack of shit and hates fucking people having the right to privacy is what it is there. Because they want to shove their dick in your fucking face every chance they get because they're a bunch of asswipes like that dude. Terry Johnson, who's the one that did he's pretty much the guy that did constitutional carry last year. Of course, they put the Terry stops in it after the fact, which is a bunch of BS, but that's besides the point. Or not last year, 2 years ago now. But yeah, he was the one behind what was passed as constitutional carry back in 2022 then. So then we got this one, enact the Suicide Self-Defense Act. I don't know if this is Democrat, like it's Democrat stuff right now. Of course it is. Let's see. Now, the Suicide Self-Defense Act relative to the creation of a do not possess firearms registry. So it's literally Democrats trying to fucking take people's rights away again, dude. God, these people are sick fucks, dude, for real. So this may or may not have already gotten a hearing in the Veterans and Public Safety Committee like a year ago. Who knows? But either way. And we got this one, prohibit requiring, this is actually Republican, prohibit requiring firearms liability insurance or certain fees. This is a direct fuck you to California Republicans or California Democrats and stuff like that is what it is there. So this one I'm sure actually is going to pass at some point, if it hasn't already, which is regard firearms for fire investigators. And it's basically allowing people that are doing fire investigations in the state of Ohio for like arson and shit like that to be able to carry guns on the job, which I don't understand. That's not already a thing at this point, dude. Like seriously, like how is that not already a thing at this point in history? Come on, man. Like for real. And then we got the last couple of Democrat bullshits here, which is universal background check, HB 419. I think this has already gotten the first hearing, if I'm not mistaken. Never get a second, obviously. Yeah, but it's already got the first hearing now because it was over a month ago that was introduced to the House Oversight Committee. If it didn't, it will get one at some point, but it will never get a second one after that, though. And then, what's the other one here? Regards carrying a concealed firearm, licensee duties. This is basically I'm trying to repeal constitutional carry again because they're fucking assholes like that, Democrats are. If this hasn't gotten a first hearing yet, as the only hearing really, it will get one and it will never be heard again, is what it'll be then. So, and then finally we got the last one that's actually a good piece of legislation from the December 11th of last year, which was the Second Amendment Preservation Act, aka two-way sanctuary in the state of Ohio, and it never got a fucking thing after that, dude. Like it's gotten favorable passes out of the fucking chambers, basically, but it's never gotten a fucking House floor hearing yet, dude. It's a bunch of bullshit, dude, entirely. So, and I guarantee this is all party line votes, by the way. Like 7-4, 8-4. Let's go ahead and look these up actually right now. Yep, all Democrats, nay. All Republicans, yay. Let's see, so you had Dick Brown, Tavi Golonsky, T.J. Humphrey, and Cecil Thomas being the Democrats that voted against the stuff. And then, like I said, you got everybody else voting for it. Peterson obviously voted for it. And then you got a second hearing there where it was it was different douchebags put in place there. So it was Golonsky, Miranda, Ismail Mohammed, Islamic terrorist, and Allison Russo, a fucking Moms Man Action bribe puppet. All voted against everybody else. Is like, no, fuck you, we're voting for this shit. So, bunch of crap in general. Surprisingly, Jason Stevens voted for it, dude. I'm actually shocked. That's the thing that pisses me off, though, right? Like, okay, so you got a year, almost like 6 months ago now, dude, where you're voting for this Jason Stevens as speaker, and yet in almost 6 months' time, you haven't brought it to a fucking floor vote, dude. Like, come the fuck on, dude. Like, do your job already and bring this shit up for a fucking floor vote, asshole. Like, damn. And you promised us a floor vote like 3-4 months ago, dude. Do it now, bitch. Before you go into fucking session or out of session for fucking summer break, then, douche. Bunch of crap, man. So, yeah. I'm actually like, and it does kind of, you know, bring down my anger and stuff a little bit, knowing that they have to give hearings then for first hearings now, up to like anything that was submitted before March 15th is what it is there. And like I said, it's always going to change throughout the General Assemblies depending on year to year and stuff like that. So it'll be different every single time. That's what it'll be. But thankfully, It will be giving us a first hearing, or it will be anything after a first hearing will never be heard from again. They don't never have proponent testimony, never have opponent testimony, etc. There. So, and as far as I'm aware, my package has been delivered now, which is supposed to come yesterday. But of course, fucking, I don't know what the fuck was with Amazon yesterday, dude. Like, it was so fucking retarded. I don't know if there was something that was in a different distribution center or what it was, dude, because they had it here in Canton, and then instead of like sending it out in our fucking, mail yesterday, they're like, oh, no, let's go ahead and send it over to Akron for distribution center over there. And then it took them fucking like 10 hours between the time it was sent from Canton to Akron for it to be considered like in the facility or whatever the case be. And then by the time it was like 3:30, I'm like, okay, it's supposed to be by 8 o'clock tonight. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to get it by tonight, whatever the case be. And it's like, oh, no, fuck you. 5 o'clock comes around. Oh, your package is in transit now and been like stopgap, basically. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And so, yeah, I guess it was just something stupid. I think what it was is that they fucked up and they realized like they were supposed to send it out the better way or whatever then. And so instead they basically were like, okay, we'll just throw it all together now as like one package. Or I think it was like 2 packages they had or something like that's what it was. And like probably like one, it was probably like the thing for the mouse or something like that they had. And then it was like other stuff then. So yeah, it's like a whole thing. But yeah, from my understanding, it's here now is what it is then. It's probably down in the mailboxes, my guess. So I didn't hear the mail go though, which is weird. So yeah, I'm assuming it's in the mailbox right now. I don't think it's out back. No, it doesn't say it's out back, so I'm guessing it's in the mailbox then. So you said it was delivered at 1:51, which was 16 minutes ago. So, but yeah, that means that would be my charger, my new mouse thing is what it is for the USB wireless thing is what it is there, and then other stuff too, including my my QD mounts and stuff like that I need for to put my sling on my other AR is what it was then. So that'll be cool. But anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna go grab that here in a few minutes. So it'll be though. But anyway, so yeah, it's nice to see that knowing in Ohio that we have like a bunch of stupid fuckery is what it is there, and like people just don't let people know what it is though. Which, again, like my thing is okay. Like as the chair of a committee, right? Like how is it not your job at that point to inform the general public? Be like seriously, like Peterson can give like a 1-minute speech before they start the fucking hearing that day and be just like, yeah, just to be clear, to let everybody know, like, this is obviously the whatever for like the House Oversight Committee hearing for this day or whatever the case be, and then be like, also, today we are hearing a bunch of different bills that were submitted before March 15th, which is our cutoff date. These may get a second hearing, they may not get a second hearing, kind of thing, or something like that. And like if he said that specifically, like that terminology or whatever to begin with, like people would just probably be like, huh? And then like you would look into it more, or the case where you call up the reps and be like, what's he talking about? And they're like, oh yeah, before that date, if they don't hear, if they put the shit in submission, being submitted or whatever the case be, they can hear it or whatever. But after that date, it doesn't have to be heard if it's not, by that cutoff date is what it is there. So, and then that way it would actually, and again, with people like me, it wouldn't be me getting pissed off and calling the fucking people and being like, this is some bullshit. Because I know when I left a message yesterday on this machine, I'm like, yeah, like stop giving these people fucking hearings for gun control is what I basically said to him. And I'm just like, and knowing that Riley got back to me and she's like, oh, okay, like apparently he doesn't understand that. It's like, I didn't, that's the whole point. Like, and now I do, obviously. They have this stupid arbitrary date where they have to have like, if stuff's submitted before this, it has to be guaranteed a first hearing, or at least like, I'm trying to remember that way I think the way she said it was like sponsored testimony or something like that, which is obviously the person that, primary sponsor the shit or whatever then, which would be in this case, Willis Flaxfield Jr. for the mass casualty weapon crap is what it is there. So, but yeah, it's nice to know though that like gun control is dead in Ohio right now. Thank God for that one, dude. So, and I might just do a short here in a little bit actually and just talk about that specifically and just be like, yeah, no fear, everybody. Like the mass casualty weapons thing is dead here for this General Assembly. Just keep on your toes though, because you never know, man. All it takes is one preventable tragedy for Republicans to change their minds on something here, unfortunately, and it's bullshit is what it is, dude. But it seems like for the most part, like most people are pretty chilled out and stuff like that, and they understand, like, yes, we have constitutional carry now, we have a standard ground now, like, this is stuff that's in place right now to prevent future tragedies in the state of Ohio is what it is, and it will prevent future tragedies in the state of Ohio, et cetera, et cetera. So, anyway, but yeah, other than that, though, that's where I'm at for the day. Don't really got much else to talk about. I got some stuff I got to do anyway, and I'm going to go get my my stuff from down in the mail then, if that be the case then, because I am definitely wanting to make sure to get that out of the box as fast as possible, considering his electronics don't want to get all fucked up from the heat and stuff like that today. So, anyway. But yeah, other than that, though, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I'm going to, again, apologize for Representative Peterson. Did not know about that rule, dude. Sorry for ever talking shit about you, dude. Now, granted, if you actually do some shit this in the future, though, dude, I'm totally taking back this apology, because you never know. For all I know, this guy might be a fucking scumbag, low-key. So... But no, as far as I'm aware, he's half decent guy anyways, what it is there. And now granted, it could be like some paid-up play scandal for all the fuck I know or something like that. But yeah, like as far as I know, like he's on the level when it comes to stuff. He's just doing his job is what it is, where he has to fucking do stupid ass first hearings on all this gun control stuff because it was somebody to do his committee there, isn't it? What it is. But thankfully he's not doing a second hearing is what it is than any of it, which is good. Like that's the big difference, right? Like the thing of it is, as soon as you hear like that second hearing, though, like that's when you know the guy's a fucking scumbag, though, because it's like, yeah, dude, this whole time I was all trying to praise you and be like, okay, the guy's cool, like he's just doing his job, whatever the case be. But then it turns out like he is fucking like backdooring us and stuff like that. It's like, nah, bro, like nah, son. So, but not for real though. No, Peterson, he definitely comes off as semi-genuine, I think is what it is right now. So. I would like to think he's on the level. Now, granted, that being said, am I okay with him flip up in the General Assembly for the last couple of years and stuff like that, just like everybody else is doing anymore? It's like, no, you're just, again, but he's just another fucking name at this point, honestly, unfortunately. And that is the problem, though, right? It's like, okay, like, so here's my thing, right? Like this Riley chick that was Peterson's legislative aide that called me back today. It's like, okay, you could actually retire out, old man, and groom her as your fucking replacement. Like, endorse this one as your replacement or something like that, bro. And there you go. You got 8 more years. I mean, somebody else is what it is then. And you're just their mentor or whatever the fuck then, if that be the case. Like, how hard is that? Like, yeah, you're not the one directly making the money anymore, but it's like, who cares, dude? If you actually give a shit about the fucking Constitution, like, the will of the people and stuff like that, like, just retire out and have somebody else take your fucking position is what it is there, dude. And stop being a career politician is what it is then. And that's my issue with all of them, honestly, dude. It's like, I'm not saying they're going to be the puppet master and stuff like that in the background or whatever, dude, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you possibly could be. And it's like, I'd rather be the guy that does my job, does it well, and, abides by term limits, finding someone else to be my replacement and be like a good person at that point or whatever the case be that's going to be, decent for the people as well. Instead of just being considered like a career scumbag is what it is then or whatever. So, I don't know. It is what it is, man. It's semantics at this point, and unfortunately, it's something that's going to have to be dealt with eventually, I believe, and it's not going to change until we, the people, unfortunately, change it. So, and start making these people abide by the 8-year term limits in place in both sides of the chambers and stuff like that, and no flip flop or anything else like that. Then after the fact, it's like you got 8 years to get the fuck out, kind of thing. Is what it is then. So, but anyway. But yeah, I'm actually happy that the Raleigh girl called me back then and told me what was up then, because, like I said, I was getting pretty irritated about it, man. And, and I think she gets my frustration because the way she was saying it sounds like a lot of people calling them up and saying the same exact shit. Like, yeah, stop giving gun control hearings and stuff like that. So, and yeah, it's like, to me, it's, it's like it never stops, It's like, you just want to live your life. You just want to be left alone. But you got these fucking assholes that keep attacking your rights is what it is, dude. And you have to literally sit there and fight back against it so it doesn't go into place. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, anyway. But, yeah, I just want to give a update on that one. I'll do, like I said, I'm going to do a small, probably 1 minute anti-gun breaking news alert thing later on. What it is then. Which is called Gun Control is Dead in Ohio for 2024. So, anyway. But yeah, other than that, though, that's pretty much it for the day is Buckshot. I'll be back tomorrow with a Freedom Friday. I'm not sure if I'll do a reseller Friday or not. I haven't heard from my cousin at all this week, so I don't know if he's going to go tomorrow or not. But I may just give him a call tonight or something like that and see what's up and see if he wants to do some stuff tomorrow or not then. So I'm going to try to pack a little bit here and there in the next couple of days too, for that matter, because I got to clean up this room a little bit before I do anything else then, because my prospective buyers are coming this weekend to look at the place and do a walkthrough, which is our family friends. So and I want to make sure it's cleaner looking by then than it is right now. And it's not super bad looking right now, but there's like a lot of stuff everywhere is what it is. It could potentially be like moved into certain spots and things like that. And I definitely could, got to figure out what to do with my laundry right now. See if I can put it in some drawers and whatnot then. So anyway, but yeah, other than that though, it's been fun. It's been real. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Always be fighting back against gun control, because you never know. You never know, dude. Like I said, all it takes is that one preventable tragedy, and people can change their minds and be like, okay, we will put through red flag laws. We will put through universal background checks. We will put through safe storage laws, et cetera there. Even though none of it's going to do anything. None of it will do anything, dude. The things that will do things will be the repealing of the Gun-Free School Zones Act of 1990 at every single state level at this point, doing away with gun-free zones entirely in this country, and allowing people to be able to carry everywhere, including hospitals, including government buildings, etc. at that point, dude. Including churches, houses of worship, etc. So, anyway. Yeah. Because that's the thing, right? A good person armed will always stop a bad person who is armed. And it's as simple as that, really. And if you're able to have people be able to legally carry wherever they want to carry, then they will be able to stop preventable tragedies, is what it is then. So, anyway, have a good one, y'all. Peace out.